Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Thank you for celebrating your Monday with Celebrated Live. Fixing up the camera a little bit. You know, it's very high tech here, very professional. We have an incredibly special guest. Mari Chawke will be with us in a second. Before we start, I did want to make sure everybody had a lovely weekend. And I also wanted to thank everybody for all their warm comments, texts, emails, messages, all the different forms of communication about my mom. It meant the world to me. So just thank you so much. My dad, who also founded Celebrated with my mom, my whole family, Jeffrey, Susan, Laura, Ron, all the grandkids. Everyone's so grateful. All these comments, they do give us fuel. It's a tough time right now, no doubt about it. But all these nice messages, they mean a lot to us. Thank you to everybody who joined on Friday for our big announcement about this, our weekly show, Celebrated Live on Facebook Live. Over 2,300 of you joined in live or watched it over the weekend again and again, like my children. Or some of you may have done that as well because you wanted to hear Ty sing. Wasn't Ty great? Yes, he was. So today I want to kind of jump right in. But actually, before I do, because I already see a text that I've just gotten. So yes, I'm wearing a tie this week. Not in honor of Ty Horn. Haha, bad joke. I'm wearing a tie this week because of Andrew Grove. Andrew is one of our closest friends. He's a travel agent up in Montreal. And Andrew also wears a tie a lot. In this industry, I usually wear a tie. And Andrew was incredibly disappointed that I was not tied on Friday. So today I've tied, and we're going to let you decide over the course of the show. I'll ask a few different times. Give it a like right now if you prefer tie. Give me a love right now if you prefer laid back quarantine clothes. So like if you want the tie, love if you want quarantine clothes. But back to why we're here. Let's talk a little bit about Dromoland Castle. We're going to hear from Mari Chawke, one of my closest friends in the business. This hotel means a lot to me. It's actually, before I got into the business, it was the first hotel that I visited during mom and dad's wooing stage when they were trying to get me to join Celebrated. So I remember getting off the plane at Shannon Airport, a few hours later being at Dromoland Castle. And then I actually had the opportunity to take my family to stay at Dromoland. And this was 2 summers ago. Great trip. Dromoland is magical. Here's, David with his Harris Hawk. Of course, what we learned on Friday was that Ty Horn would be mortified by a picture like that with the hawk. And of course, just many other family memories. Here's one with all 4 of us again, riding a carriage ride. And here we go. I'm bringing on the great, the powerful Mari Chawke, one of my great friends. Thank you for joining us. A lot of people don't know you're a lot more than just a hotel. You really are one of my closest friends in the business, and it means so much to you to be here with us on episode 1. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm just laughing. You said you remember your first visit to Dromoland. You landed in Shannon Airport, and a few hours later you were at Dromoland. You must have been crawling backwards. We're only a 10-minute drive from Shannon Airport.
Clearly, that's quarantine brain. So that may happen a few times. You have to jump in and correct me, okay?
Yeah.
Right. So great to see you. I mean, what's it like being remote? Normally you're all over the place, so What's it like to be all held up in your beautiful home in Killarney?
Well, I'm very lucky because working in Dromoland, I actually work from home already, normally about 1 day a week. But what's really weird is I'm actually back living in the house with my husband again, which hasn't happened for a long time. Because of the way I work, I'm normally in the States about 10 times of the year, throughout the year. And so as they say, absence makes the heart grow fonder. It's a sign that it's the best medication you can get for any marriage. But
a lot of people don't know. Pat works in the hotel industry as well, so I'm curious, two hospitality folks completely on top of each other right now who are used to having their own orbits. Who's cooking the most?
I am. And he's out on his bike or he's running or he's walking. The other day, the neighbor said, did we not see Pat out jogging the other day? Or half an hour ago, I said, yeah. And he's after going out on his bike now. I said, yeah, that's it. He's constantly out. But we're so lucky where we are. We're just here in Killarney, and outside our front door is the National Park. And Killarney's known as the town in the park. So we've like 25,000 acres of the most beautiful landscape you can just imagine. Lakes, mountains, a golf course, all at our doorstep. But we have a kind of a lockdown at the moment, so we can only go around 2 kilometers. But we're going around in circles.
So you have to stay within 2 kilometers of your house. Well, that's really convenient for those in Killarney because they're on the park.
Yeah, we're so lucky.
So I want to jump in, let the audience get to know you. We're going to do some fun true or false questions, okay? I know you're a little bit nervous. Don't be nervous. Okay. Everyone's rooting for you, okay? So we're going to start with this. 5 years ago, true or false, you took a hiatus from the hotel biz and went to Nepal for a soulful trip of self-exploration. It's a lot of S's. True or false?
That's true. That's very, very true. I don't know if you've seen the movie Eat, Love, Pray. I was a little bit of a Julia Roberts off in Nepal, and I volunteered in an orphanage over there outside Kathmandu in a tiny, tiny village. And it was just so special. While I was there, actually, we had a really bad earthquake as well. So the house got damaged, and there was all kinds of, I had everything from bed bugs to earthquake to Delhi belly to all kinds of things happening. But
and those who don't know you well, you are one of the most glamorous, well-dressed, always put together women I know. So imagining you with Delhi belly and a falling apart house during an earthquake in Nepal is an amazing image.
I had all my clothes in Ziploc bags. Somebody recommended that. And and everything was bought in pennies. It's a store here in Ireland where people call it disposable clothing a lot of the time. So I literally bought all my clothes there and put into Ziploc bags. And the morning I woke up with the bed bugs literally crawling all over my sleeping bag, I just rolled it right up and left everything in the room. And anything in a Ziploc bag came with me. And I went down to the street and bought a new pajama bottom.
I'm very impressed. A good true or false. Yeah. Another one. True or false, at one point you were the youngest general manager at a 5-star hotel in Ireland.
Yes, 26. That's right. In Hayfield Manor.
26.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. One of the best hotels, one of my favorite hotels in Ireland. You were also, I believe, the only woman general manager at a hotel at that point, at a 5-star hotel at that point as well, right?
Yeah, there was very few ladies.
Trailblazer.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a great opportunity for me. I'd managed a hotel in Killarney prior to that, Randall's Court, by the Randall's family for Kay. And then I got the opportunity of Hayfield, which was just phenomenal. I had to pinch myself. I grew up all of a sudden very, very quickly, pretending I was so much older than I actually was.
Wow. Yeah. Well, on the next true or false, we're going to let the audience participate a little bit. If you think it's true, I want you to click like. If you think it's false, I want you to click love. Okay, so thumbs up for true, heart for false. Okay, so a little bird told me this about you. It's true or false though, maybe it's totally made up. If you have a package delivered to your house and there are things like clothes, jewelry, extra special things, do you tell your delivery man to place them in the recycle bin so your husband, Pat, will not see them? True or false?
Do I answer now?
Yeah, give it a true or false.
Very true.
So ladies, all this advice that you're getting today on Celebrated Live, what's the story there? Does Pat ever find out?
Well, it actually did recently because I'd actually forgotten there had been a delivery. I was away, I was in the States or something. Totally forgot. I got the message to say he delivered. And Pat went out to the bottle bin, is where they put them, into the bottle bin every time for me. And he went out to put something in the bottle bin. He was like, oh, what's this? And the best of it all, it was a package from Wuhan in China. No kidding. No kidding. And it was these light bulbs I'd ordered, like makeup bulbs, to go around my mirror. And that's what was inside in the package. He's like, are you trying to kill me or something?
So your secret's out. Your secret's out. You're going to find another place to hide things. And next, another true or false. Again, audience, I want to see where you guys go. True, like, false, love. Let's see what happens. Your father was in fact a baker, and early in the mornings when he would bake, you would reach into the loaf of bread, grab the loaf of bread, the heart of it when it was warm, stuff your face with it, and that same loaf of bread would eventually be delivered to a store. Is that a true or a false?
It's very true. It was actually the bread van. They'd be in the bread van and Dad might be home for lunch or one of the drivers would call in and I'd sneak out to the van, put my hand down the big long loaf, pull out all the nice warm bread and not tell anybody and they'd go to delivery.
That is a great one. How old were you when you did that?
Oh, I might have been 8 or 9 maybe. Yeah.
I wanted you to say 23.
No,
all right. So everyone in Ireland has a Bono story, you know, U2, Bono, everyone's got a quirky Bono story. Do you have a Bono story? And would you share it if you do?
Yeah. A lot of people, when they travel with me, they hear this story a lot of the time. A friend of ours had this restaurant in Dublin called Town Bar and Grill, just around the corner from the Shelburne. And Bono used to frequent it. And one particular Friday night he was in there. There was a couple from Northern Ireland sitting at a table close by and they're like, oh, it's Bono, I can't believe it. I'd love to get my picture or an autograph. So they asked the waiter and the waiter said, look, wait till at the end of dinner, we'll organise it. So Julie, Bono went to the bathroom. They went over to his table, to his friend and said, any chance, can we please get a picture? And the friend said, no problem. I'll beckon you over when it's time, just before we leave. So surely enough, they got the call over. They were so excited. They said to his friend, look, would you mind taking the picture? They got all set up, took the photo. And they were like so thrilled. And the next thing, Bono left with his buddy and they asked for the bill. And they were told that's all been taken care of. They're like, what? Bono paid for dinner? And Ronan said, no, sorry. It was the gentleman with him, Bruce Springsteen. He paid for dinner, the guy that took your photo.
That is amazing. That is one of my favorites that you share. Like, they had no idea it was Bruce at all.
Not a clue.
Care of dinner. For him, it was great. He's used to being discovered everywhere. So, public service announcement. You told me about this. Bruce has a concert. What's he doing? Tell me about what's happening.
I can't remember what was it. Wednesday night, I think.
I think it's Wednesday night. Bruce Springsteen is going to be doing a broadcast. I don't know if it's Facebook Live or wherever. But come on, who's going to miss a chance to see Bruce?
Oh gosh, no, definitely not. Yeah.
Does Dromoland Castle have any Bono stories?
Oh, actually, they do. It was in Ireland. We had a really heavy snow about 10 years ago. And the boys were coming home from a concert in Australia on their private jet. And they were told they needed a detour to Shannon because Dublin was very snowed in. So reception got a call and we were closed for Christmas that particular year. We used to close before. Now we're fully open for Christmas, by the way, in case anybody's any clients. But that particular year we were closed. And reception thought it was a prank. So they got Mark Nolan to call back the manager. And sure enough, they wanted to come and stay. So Mark explained, look, we're closed, we light the fires, the rooms are made up, there's a handful of staff around the place, you're more than welcome. So along they came, and we opened up the bar, lit all the fires, and Mark's wife had been busy getting ready for her kids coming home. So she was preparing like big, large family-style dishes, lasagnas, shepherd's pies, and everything. So Mark realised, bloody hell, we've no food for these guys. So Maria arrived up with her beautiful homemade shepherd's pie, and Mark got in a local trad band to play for them, and they had one of the best nights ever in the bar. Wow. And I've heard the story back from some of their crew that they still talk about it when they're on tour about when they arrived to Dromoland Castle when it was closed to Maria's beautiful shepherd's pie.
Wow. Maria's she's incredible. Maria's special.
She is. Fabulous.
As is Mark, which is a nice segue to Dromoland. So Mark, one of the legendary, really, I think, is really the godfather right now of all general managers of luxury hotels in Ireland. You know, he's blazed the trail in so many ways. One of my closest friends. I get so much great guidance from him. What would you say, having worked at so many great five-star hotels, give me 2 or 3 things that make Dromoland truly unique and special?
I always say in my presentation, the first most definitely is the people there. And I've worked in so many places, but there's something so special about the connection, the passion. It's not just in their job, but it's in the actual place. Like, these people would die on the sword for it. Like, Mark is with the castle himself over 30 years. And you might know John O'Connor at the front door and his brother Mike. Like, they both started as bellboys, both 40 years ago. Right. And their wives work with us and their children. So it's that continuity of like local families, generations of them there. There's been so many love stories of couples who met there 20, 30 years ago, still working there, and now their kids are there. You know, so it really is the people. And they're just honest to God, hardworking, who love what they're doing, you know. And that's definitely the number one for me.
I mean, David came back from the trip, my 11-year-old, then he was 9, knowing about a dozen people by name. It's that kind of place.
Yeah, oh, for sure. No, they're just great. The second thing for me would be the location. Like, we're blessed, particularly in today's environment. Like, we're 450 acres of this gorgeous countryside estate with everything. Like, we were showing David with the falcon earlier and things like that. Like, we've got lily ponds, woodlands, wall gardens, but it's not just our location of the estate, but we're only 10 minutes from Shannon Airport, not a few hours, 10 minutes. And nowadays we've got this fabulous motorway connection. So Dublin's like 2.5 hours, Galway's less than an hour. And for sightseeing or touring, the Cliffs of Moher are 35 minutes away from us. The Burn, 30 minutes from us. So you can spend days.
I have to tell you, from my team's perspective, as designers of itineraries, it's just hard to beat that location. It's just so convenient, linking to different regions, whether you're going to a hotel up in Connemara or going down to Kerry, where you are right now, or Dublin across. It's just so simple to work into itineraries and not have to spend too much of your trip sitting in a car.
Yeah, no, for sure. And the last thing I suppose for me would be, which is really unusual because most of the places I've worked were newer properties until now, the history. Like, you cannot buy what we have in this history. It's the castle, 15th century. And like Lord and Lady, it was owned by the O'Briens, dating back to Brian Boru, who was the High King of Ireland. And Lord and Lady Inchiquin O'Brien still live on the estate. So like, we've got a Lord and Lady on our estate who, like, if guests, let's say, had maybe engaged with our genealogist and found out their cousins are O'Briens, we can arrange them to go and have cocktails with Lord and Lady Inchiquin, go through their archives. Like, this is stuff you just can't buy. And right. I keep thinking, sometimes I'm there in the gallery, you're walking down the gallery, and I'm saying, gosh, kings and queens could have walked through here in their big dresses, and lords and ladies, and like, it's just steeped in history everywhere you look, every part of it. It's totally special, really special. Totally. Yeah.
So completely agree. One of my favorite places in the world. And it does really the team, but everything else is special too. So we're going to come to the next segment. We're going to go to our speed round today. And this is where I ask a few questions. You have a choice, you get
okay.
Here we go. James Bond or Harry Potter?
Oh, James Bond.
Good.
What would you be?
Oh my God, definitely James Bond. My son clearly would give a strong Harry Potter, and I went to Universal Studios, did all that, but I would like a James Bond world at Universal Studios. That would be great. Galway or Amsterdam?
Galway.
Why?
Yeah. It's just cool. It's just culture. I know Amsterdam is culture too, but Galway is just like,
it's got raw authenticity to it, really.
Yeah. It really has great culture, and like, by the ocean there, which I love water. Yeah. People are just sound,
Right. If you're at Dromoland on a Sunday and you have the opportunity, which I know you don't always get these opportunities, but to do one of these two activities, what do you pick? Archery or falconry?
Ooh, tough one. Very tough.
The archery is good at Dromoland.
Yeah,
but the hawk one's pretty great. What do you do?
I think archery, because I'm a bit competitive.
Yes, it's hard to win it at falconry unless we create that, which I may be onto something. We can create competitive falconry.
There was a guy called Ant Anstead. He's in Wheeler Dealers, that TV show, and he stayed with us. And his wife, who was some fancy schmancy interior design TV show in the US, and they had a bet that she wouldn't get the bullseye on her first go. And if she was to get it, he'd jump in the lake in Dromoland. And she got it, and he jumped in the lake, and he put it live on his feed on Instagram.
That is so funny.
Fun. It was so fun.
And totally believable in Ireland. All right, next one. Ask Ty this question. Starter or dessert?
Starter.
Okay, same with Ty. And finally, and I know the answer to this, but the world doesn't. Dogs or cats?
Oh, dogs. Oh, dogs.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, you're a big dog person.
Yeah.
So some of you are tuning in, and I'm getting this question. So yes, on Friday I was not wearing a tie. It's because Andrew Grove, one of my friends from Canada, said they're used to seeing me in tie. I'm going to let you choose what I wear for the next broadcast. If you hit like, I will wear tie again, and we'll see lots of blue things flying up the screen right now. If you would prefer that I just wear whatever I want during quarantine, hit love. Let's see those red hearts fly. I know what I'm rooting for, but I'm not telling. So if you did not, okay, so where did you start in hospitality? What was your first gig?
My very first job was in the Woodlands Hotel with the Fitzgerald family in Adair in County Limerick. And I
Wow.
actually had applied to go to Hotel College, which was in Shannon, and got accepted. And I remember the reason why I did hotel management was because I loved the TV show Hotel with Mr. McGregor. I wanted to be
Yep.
that older lady living in the apartment upstairs in her hotel. That's what I wanted to be. So anyway, I started in the Woodlands, and I remember Mary was saying to me, "This isn't easy now." And I started in accommodation, and it was when they had the real old Woodlands and it was like a bungalow at the time with a conservatory at the front. And my job was to clear the dead flies every morning from the conservatory, and then I was into the bathrooms after that.
Well, what a graduation from flies to toilets, and look where you are today. Look where you are today. So kids out there, hard work, toilets, flies, it all leads somewhere. What a great moral. So we're going to play something. You're not ready for this. So a few years ago, Laura and I got each other the same present for the holidays, totally coincidentally. And I recommend it to everybody.
Second book of everything Irish.
Second book of everything Irish. And the word feckin, which is a nice way to say another word, is completely acceptable and appropriate in Ireland. True story. In fact, I'm right about that, right?
Yes, very true.
Absolutely. So I'm going to ask you a few words that people in Ireland would know, just to make sure that you're not a spy and that you're Irish. I don't know if you're going to get all of them. We'll see. And it'll be a good educational moment for our
like oregano, that kind of thing.
Yes. What is a slapper?
Oh, she's a slut.
Correct. A little bit of a slut, and even more, because I love this. A female of low morals and poor taste in clothing. For example, Murray Chawke is no slapper.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Thank you. All right, so you're 1 for 1 on this. Number 2. All right, here we go. What does it mean to be ossified?
Very drunk.
Correct. Totally obliterated is the definition I would use.
Murray Chawke is never that.
Never. So that's actually my example. There has been an occasion or two when I have been ossified in the presence of Maury. She was not.
She just hit it very well.
That's right. And the final question, what does it mean to slag?
To take the piss? To
wow, we got 2. Now you need to define take a piss.
To slag, to what's the other word for it?
To make fun of somebody.
Make fun of somebody, that's it. Yes.
To give somebody a lot of grief. So yes, take the piss would be the way an Irish person would have defined it. Here's a sentence. When I hang out with all of my Irish friends, it is quite common that they would slag me relentlessly.
Yes.
There? Good sentence? All right.
Yes, very good.
Which brings us towards the end of the show. But before we go to the end, I have a question for you. But even before that, I want to get a sense of where people are watching. So if you would comment right now to give us a sense of where you're watching from, I would love to see it. I was blown away on the last broadcast. There was one guy from China. I have no idea how he even found it. I think it was obviously a huge mistake. Little did he know he was going to get to see Ty sing. Wow. So really, really, really great to get all those people who come in. I'm seeing on the feed right now, we have, again, a big audience from Ireland. Well, they saw that you were going to be on. We have some folks from London, and we'll check back in at the end, and we'll see people come up. Well, here we go. We got we've got a lot right now. Whoa, it's flying in so fast. We've got Memphis, Tennessee. We've got St. Louis. Wow, Cork. Can you beat Cork?
Charlotte.
I mean, it's unbelievable, all these. Charlotte. Scotland. Wow, so we got a lot of these. We're going to kind of come back to those in a second because there's so many and it's so fun to see. But we end every show with the same question.
Okay.
Times right now are challenging, right? We all have to dig in, do things differently. There's lots of days where people just cry. You know, it is just a really, really hard time right now. And I think one thing that always anchors me, and I would have gotten this from my parents and my siblings, and fortunately the people I get to work with every day at Celebrated, is it's all about exercise and gratitude. And even as dark as it can be right now, what's something that you feel really, really thankful for right now?
Family. Absolutely family. You know, I think we all do. When times like this happen, you're just so you realize how much you miss them. You can't be close to them. That really, really does. That's really what you'd be most grateful for in times like this, for sure. Yeah.
Right. And I would say that your family is incredibly special. Like Pat is, to me, almost like an Irish brother. He's one of my man crushes, to be very honest about it. He's the list that Laura keeps. So he's definitely one of my man crushes. I love him. I got to go hiking with him last May. Cannot wait to go back with him and you. But I would say for me, my gratitude this week has definitely been the people who shared not just incredible warm thoughts about Mom, but these memories of working with Mom back in 1990 and 91. And I see so many of the characteristics of Mom in our current team, people who've maybe only been there 2 or 3 years, you know, in terms of their warmth and their dedication and really exceeding expectations. And clearly OCD, obsession with detail, bonds all of us at Celebrated and our hotel partners like you. So thank you to everybody for all those warm wishes. And I think, you know, that's it for this week's show. Mara, anything you want to say as we go? I'm going to kind of also kind of note, you know, some other folks and where they're from. What is that?
I can't get the camera right. I was busy working from home, as you can see. So I did a little bit of paper mache for Easter, and did a window display at the front of our house to keep all the kids in the neighborhood happy. They asked us all to put something up instead of an Easter egg hunt. So I had no paint. I found white primer for the walls. And then
put that whole thing in the shot. What is that? It's like a giant Easter bunny Easter egg. It's amazing.
With a pink highlight and a black marker and some flowers from the garden. That's how I did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
paper mache and myself. But just one thing, Jonathan, on behalf of everyone looking in here tonight and all the travel community, we want to just really express our sincerest condolences to you, Preston, to Jeffrey, Susan, your families, and on Lenny's recent passing. And I know your family, your business has been a huge testament to this incredible lady and her passion and her dedication and everything. And as you just said there, it's coming through on everybody else that works with you in your business. And just shows you're attracted to similar type of people. But I'm sure everybody listening in tonight is with me when we say that she'll be truly missed, and our sincerest and deepest condolences to you all. So
thank you. It means a lot to all of us. And Mom had a very special place for Ireland in our heart. So I remember the last visits, we really had some great talks about Ireland. So thank you for saying that. Thank you very much. So everybody, thank you for joining us. What a fun week. One last chance. We'll find out if I'm going to be wearing a tie or not next week. Okay. Are we going tie or no tie? You know, likes for ties, no ties, loves. I like what Maury said just then. Yeah. Okay. So guys, thank you for joining us. If we can do anything for you, don't hesitate to call, email. We're always here for you. Bye. And we'll see you next Monday, 2 p.m. with Stephen Davies from Culloden House in Scotland. There will be drinking, and it'll be a great time. So thank you very much, Maury. Always great to see you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.